Do I look like garbage? Yes. Why? Because I just moved back into my apartment, and so things have been a little bit stressful lately. But that's not going to stop me from posting this video, because I made a summer bucket list and I'm really excited to share with you guys what I completed and what I kind of fell short on, which I'm kind of disappointed in myself, but it's fine. So the first thing on my summer bucket list was a beach day, which I did complete. When I went to the cottage with Patrick and my mom, we spent a day at the beach, and we just basically walked up and down the beach, went for a walk in the woods, went swimming, had a great time. So yeah, beach day was a lot of fun, and I usually have one every summer. Now that I'm working all the time, I just wanted to make sure that I definitely had time in for a beach day this year. The second thing on my list is hiking. I didn't really get to the point where I could go to like a hiking trail and go hiking, but when we had our beach day, we went for a walk in the woods, so I don't really know if I should count that, but yeah, I'm gonna count it. The third thing was a picnic. I had a few picnics, but I didn't get really like photo proof of them, but since I worked in a restaurant this summer, I would usually buy food with my 50% discount, and then when Patrick would pick me up from work, we would go off to a park somewhere and eat the 50% off food. So we had quite a few picnics, but I also had one on the way home from the cottage with my mom and Patrick. We stopped in a park and just had pizza and cheesy breadsticks from New Orleans, which was really good. The fourth thing on my list was a bonfire. I had a few bonfires. I remember in the beginning of the summer, some of my friends had a birthday party and there was a bonfire there, and there was like literally 20 people there, or 30 or something. There were a lot of people at that bonfire, and it was just a really good time. But I also went to my cottage a few times, so I had bonfires there. We have a fire pit right by the lake, so it's a really beautiful view while you have a bonfire at night, and we made s'mores, and it was just a lot of fun. There was one point where there was a big windstorm, and sometimes when I feel unloved, I think about the fact that Patrick and my mom built me a bonfire in the windstorm just so I could roast a few marshmallows and make some s'mores after dinner. The fifth thing on my list was a farmer's market. I worked at a farmer's market and I got fired, so technically I was at a farmer's market for a bit, but Patrick and I went to one as well at my cottage way up north, and it's just like a little rink-a-dink farmer's market, and there was maple syrup and little trinkets and a live band playing, and it was cute. We had a lot of fun. We bought some cookies and some candy, so that was good. That was a fun time. My alarm just went off. That's my alarm. I'm so sorry. But wait. It's the French version. So the next thing is thrifting in Toronto. I went thrifting in Toronto with Patrick for our 1-year anniversary. We spent the day in Toronto. By the way, most of the things on this list I did with Patrick because he's like my only friend. Anyway, we went thrifting in Toronto. We went to the Black Market Vintage Thrift Shop, which used to be in the basement. If you guys have ever been there, you know the iconic basement and the basement steps. Now they've moved it to an upper level building, which kind of sucks, but we went during the closing sale in the basement, and I got a really cute winter jacket. So I would say it was a success, and it was a really fun day. Next is the drive-in theater. This is one of the things I didn't do with my only friend Patrick. I did this with my other only friend Rosalind, who's my best friend. She's been my best friend for like almost 10 years now. And we went to a drive-in theater in Oakville. We went to a drive-in theater in Oakville. It was called the 5 Drive-In, and we saw Toy Story and Aladdin, and it was really cute. We sat in the trunk of her car and we just opened it, and she brought snacks. She picked me up from work and she said, I have snacks and I have blankets, and so we had chips and we had chocolate bars, and then we bought some popcorn from the drive-in, and we just sat in the blankets and cuddled and watched all these children's movies. So that was a really good time, definitely one of the highlights of my summer. Next is a Jays game. I went to 2 Jays games. I went to one with my dad and I went to one with Patrick, and it was a lot of fun. The Jays aren't doing very well this year, so the tickets were relatively cheap. I think we only paid about 30 bucks each to be in the 400s, so I can't even complain. It was a good day of cheap fun. The first time I went, the Jays won in overtime, and the second time I went, they lost, which kind of blows, but it's okay. I also bought a Marcus Stroman jersey, and then 2 weeks later they started talking about trading him, so that was a lot of fun for me to deal with having that jersey now. Next is see fireworks. I saw fireworks on Canada Day. I went to see a Marianas Trench concert with my friend Brandon and Patrick, and at the end there was a huge firework display in Mississauga, and it was gorgeous, and it was so much fun to just sit and watch and just be in awe of these fireworks. And then you realize all the smoke coming off of them is like super bad for the environment and just like damaging, and it's hard to enjoy fireworks when you realize that our planet is dying, but we still tried to make the most of it. Next is the CNE. I had so much fun at the CNE. For those of you guys who don't know, it's the Canadian National Exhibition, and it's just like a giant fair in Toronto that runs for like a couple weeks, and it's just so much fun. Patrick and I went towards the end of the day, so we got there around 5 and we stayed until around midnight when everything closed down. We went on rides, we saw the views, we got food, we played games. It was so fun, you guys. Every year I go to the Brampton Fall Fair, and this was kind of just like the Brampton Fall Fair on steroids, so it was really cool to see. I had been to the CNE like way back when I was a kid, like literally 10 years ago, and so going back when I'm kind of an adult and able to actually remember and like process things was a lot of fun for me. It was really cool. Patrick even went on the big kid rides, and he hates heights, so for him to go on the sky ride and the Ferris wheel with me was like kind of a big deal. We had a lot of fun. And the CNE is known for its crazy food, kinda, so I got a bread bowl with pasta inside, which isn't too crazy, but I've never had that before. The bread was really good, the pasta was really good, it was really good. And Patrick made me try calamari for the first time too, which I liked it, but I can't get over the fact that I'm eating squid, so I'll probably never have it again. The next thing is mini golfing outdoors, and this is one of the only things that I didn't do. And I don't know why, because it's so accessible and so easy to do, but I'm going in a couple of weeks with my friend Marliese back in London, which is where I am now, so back here I guess. But mini golfing outdoors is so superior to mini golfing indoors. But I do like mini golfing indoors with the glow in the dark and all that stuff. But mini golfing outdoors in the summer is just relaxing, it's cute, it's a lot of fun. The last time I went was in Niagara 2 years ago when I graduated high school. Me and my friends went, and it was dinosaur mini golf, and it was super cute and so much fun. So I'm kind of bummed I didn't get to go mini golfing this summer, but there will be other chances, so I'm not too worried about that. The next thing is go-karting. Me and my friend Jacob from high school, he was literally my first friend in high school, like we met like before grade 9 started. We went go-karting at Palladium because they had $2 laps at Palladium on Tuesdays. So we went go-karting at Palladium. It was so much fun. I lapped them like 3 times. It was just a really good time. I love go-karting, the smell of like gasoline and like the pop of the cars where you're like certain you're gonna die and then you don't. Oh, it's thrilling. The next thing is the only other thing I didn't complete, and that was to finish my book. For those of you guys who don't know, I have a book of poetry coming out in October, and now that it's September, I'm going to start promoting it a little bit more. I'm posting some poetry on this channel because I am so excited for the release of my poetry book. I have started to kind of edit it and like put things together, and I've got the proof copy of the book. I'm just editing out spelling mistakes and grammar mistakes and all that fun stuff, and then it's going to be released. I actually have a copy here. This is my poetry book. I'm so excited about it. It's called Suburbia. It's by me. It's got 20 to 25 poems in it. I honestly can't remember how many, but yeah, so I got the proof copy, and I've just been making little notes inside of it and writing little things to remember, and then I have to go back into the computer, fix it all, and have it up for sale. So I'm so excited for you guys to be able to read that. It'll be out in October, probably towards the end of October, and yeah, so look out for that. The next thing I don't have video proof of, but it's go swimming at night, and Patrick and I went swimming at night in his pool one day after I finished work. It was probably like 10:30, and we went swimming in his pool, and it was a lot of fun to just look up and see the stars, well, some stars because we kind of live in suburbia, but we saw some of the stars, and it was just a really nice night, and the water was really warm, and swimming at night is just so much fun, and I like it so much better than swimming in the day. I don't know why, it's just like a different kind of thrill and adventure. And the final thing on my list was something that I completed and I was so happy about, and that was to have a potluck with friends. Having a potluck with friends is so much fun because everyone gets to bring their own food and everyone shares, and you get to catch up with your friends, and it's cheap and it's just so cute. I think I've talked about having a potluck with friends in my things to do when you're broke video, which I'll link down below because you guys should watch that because it's super cute. But yeah, so my friends Sienna, Mateo, Matthew, Patrick and Catherine came over and everyone brought different things. Catherine baked, so she brought baked goods. There were fruit trays, there were spring rolls. I made pancakes for everyone. And we had this little potluck in my house and it was just so cute. So much fun to see all my friends over the summer and catch up with them. And yeah, so if you guys need a cheap, fun way to do breakfast with your friends, I definitely recommend breakfast potlucks because they are super cute and a lot of fun. That is everything for my summer bucket list. Out of I think 20 things or something like that, I only didn't do 2, so I'm not doing too bad for myself. I'm pretty proud, and one of those things is pretty much done, so stay on the lookout for this. If you guys are interested in my poetry book, I also have a poetry Instagram, which I will link down below, and you can check out what I've been writing lately and see if you're interested in purchasing my book, which I would really, really love, so please do that. And I will talk to you guys on Fashion Friday, so long as I manage to get settled in and deal with things around the apartment. So until then, I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.